So I've been traveling a whole bunch, and I've been playing a lot of games on my Nintendo Switch, and I thought it was time for me to do a 5 perfect ports for the Nintendo Switch, or at least pretty perfect ports for the Nintendo Switch as a portable system mostly, because I've been playing on a lot of planes, some trains, and in hotel rooms. My number 5 pick is going to be Mutant Football League, which came out a little bit earlier this year, and I actually had Tim Kitzrow and Michael Mendheim, who partnered up to help create this game with Digital Dreams, for the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, and they've since released a Dynasty edition, which is what you get on the Nintendo Switch. They sent me a copy of that. This is an over-the-top, crazy football experience where you can actually kill your opponents on screen. They're lizards, they're, robots, they're undead creatures and giant ogres and things like that, and they have massive spikes and crazy uniforms and shotguns and weapons, and sometimes you'll be running along the field and there'll be sort of buzzsaws going from side to side, and you have to avoid those, as well as getting sacked, which may end up getting you killed twice, which is crazy. And what they've added to the Dynasty Edition is actually a Dynasty mode, so you're carrying on with a team and trying to see how many years you can be a winning team, which is kind of cool. They've got season modes in there. You can just have a quick pick up and play arcade experience. What I love about this game, though, is what Tim Kitzrow and his announcing buddy are doing throughout this thing. They legitimately make you laugh as you're playing. It's over the top. There's a lot of profanity. There's a lot of oh, he's dead again, and lots of ball jokes, and just it's such lowbrow, silly, ridiculous humor, and there's just so much gratuitous violence, and it's just so fun. I mean, it's an arcade, accessible football experience. It's certainly not state-of-the-art visually. It's not Madden. You're not going to mistake this for what EA's been doing with Madden over the last few years, but it's still an incredible treat. I think you're going to have a very good time, particularly if you play with a pal. I'm going to give Mutant Football League Dynasty Edition on the Nintendo Switch an 8 out of 10. Coming in at number 4 for me is Dark Souls. This is the reimagined version of Dark Souls for the Nintendo Switch. Of course, it was a massive hit on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, so it's a little bit dated in terms of visuals, because we've seen this series progress and starts to look a little bit more beautiful, and certainly we saw From do some incredible stuff with Bloodborne as well, and it's not quite up to par with that, but what you get here are those really, really challenging and incredible hooks in the gameplay. You're going to face up against enormous bosses and all kinds of minions and sort of mini bosses and lots of tough little creatures that you can try to fight, and all kinds of amazing, fantastical creations that you're going to fight and suck the souls out of them, and you're going to read little messages, and of course this connects to the Dark Souls servers, and people are going to be leaving behind ideas and hints and tips for you. It's as difficult for me to play as it was originally. You really have to kind of find your Dark Souls groove, but I appreciate the beauty and the precision in the game design. You know what's great about Dark Souls on the Switch, though, is that you can take it with you, clearly, and you can kind of keep practicing and keep refining, which sounds a little bit like Stockholm Syndrome, because once it gets into you, you just don't want to let it go. It's kind of abusive for a while, and it's like, oh my god, I can't take this anymore. You're dead, or you died. When you can take it on the road and you give it another shot on the plane or on the train, you start to get that groove, and you start to see why this has become such a huge obsession for so many people. I love the fact that Dark Souls is on the Switch. I think that's great. I'm really a big fan of it on this machine. I'm going to give Dark Souls on Nintendo Switch an 8.5 out of 10. Now, coming in at number 3 is Moonlighter, and I played this earlier on the PlayStation 4, and I freaking loved it. I think I gave it a 9.5 on that platform. It's still just as fun, and it's a beautiful port on the Nintendo Switch. It's not just about dungeon exploration, it's about collecting an inventory and taking it back to your store, and this is what the Moonlighter title kind of refers to. You operate a shop, and you sell the stuff that you collect and you find off of the dead bodies and the carcasses that you leave behind. You bring that to your store, and you sell that to the townfolk. And the more they buy, the more you build, the more your store grows and the inventory grows, and you challenge the competitive retail outlets that are in your town as well. And then you start to build up little other areas within the town, and you become allies with other salespeople, and you get sent off on tougher dungeon missions, and it's just ridiculously fun, and it gets into your heart, this game. I freaking love Moonlighter. I'm going to give it a 9.5, and it's a perfect fit on the Nintendo Switch as well. Number 2 for me is Mark of the Ninja. This is from Klei in Vancouver, and these guys made a phenomenal Xbox 360 game. It was one of those Xbox Live Arcade experiences. On the Nintendo Switch, it isn't the most beatific version of the game, but man, is this fun to play. It's another kind of Metroidvania type of experience, but you're a ninja with all kinds of cool ninja skills and stealthy abilities. You've got to deal with a lot of henchmen that you can stealth kill or knock out, dogs that you can knock out, searchlights to avoid. You've got shurikens and bladed weapons and all kinds of secret little areas to explore and duck into. You got to stay in the shadows, hide in the doorways, not get caught, and free your allies and free, some of the your masters, and also wipe out some of the big bosses that you're going to encounter along the way. It feels like you're playing a comic book, It's just really, really slick, and it's a great fit again on the Nintendo Switch. I defy anybody to start playing this game and not become insanely addicted to it. I'm so glad that it's back again, and I really hope that Klei has got a sequel up their sleeves. Music, visuals, gameplay, this is a knockout. Mark of the Ninja, another 9.5 for me. Now, you're wondering what number 1 is. I can tell you it's the Diablo Eternal Collection. This is just absolutely amazing. They've done a great job at Blizzard, and Iron Galaxy helped out on the port as well. I played this on the PC, I played it on the Mac, I played it on the Xbox 360, I played it on the PlayStation 4. I've played it a lot, but it's great on the Switch. It's still an excellent game, and I think what's amazing about this game is that it perseveres through all of these ports and all of these different console transitions and generational kind of changes that happen within the industry. It's beautiful on the Switch, especially when you take it off the dock and you're playing it portably and you're seeing all of this fidelity and all of the carnage and all of these destructible elements and these beautiful magic spells and gruesome creatures that you're combating. And the controls are excellent. It's very easy to roll out of the way and dole out all kinds of great brutal melee attacks and magic spell attacks and shoot arrows and cast huge area effect spells. And there's all of these fantastic messages popping off the screen telling you, you're awesome, you've killed 21 demons in a row, you've massacred so many. I just love it, man. And of course you get all of the DLC, and there's lots of extended content, lots of ways for you to just keep playing this thing forever and ever. I never would have thought that Diablo 3 would still be something we would be talking about in 2018, for one, but also would be such a great fit on a Nintendo handheld device like the Nintendo Switch. It gets another 9.5 from me. So there you go. There's 5 pretty perfect ports that I've been playing on the Nintendo Switch. I've been playing a ton of them with a huge smile on my face. Great on the road, and also great when you get to a hotel room and you want to play it on the big screen.